Most of us in this class are around 18 to 24 years old. So imagine one of you or your friends is scrolling through social media, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok, and you are surrounded by imagery and videos glorifying weight loss challenges, following models' diets, or even somebody with an eating disorder themselves glorifying or romanticizing it, all while you or that friend of yours' brain is currently still in development. And it really isn't uncommon. A majority of us, including myself, are always on our phones or social media platforms, like the one that you're watching from right now. And diet culture and harmful eating habits are normalized and often overlooked. The trends that you see online aren't only affecting your self-esteem, but are actively changing the way your brain can function. I've spent a lot of my time online as a teenager and not only being educated over my own nutrition, but also having to go through an eating disorder myself. What I've researched are both the neurosciences of nutrition and eating disorder culture scattered throughout your phones and how they can play a deeper role in your brain growth and capabilities. In this speech, I'll explain the sciences behind nutrition being crucial to brain development and how certain content can lead to disordered eating, which can both be detrimental to brain and physical functions and your development. First, I'll talk about the science behind the link of the brain development and nutrition. Then I'll explain what eating disorder culture and content is, and finally show you how, when these two are connected, it can be detrimental to your health. It's important to first get an understanding of what's happening inside the human body. To understand how detrimental eating disorder content is, we need to start with the core part, how nutrition plays a key role in fueling the brain during your development. Nutrition plays a crucial role in your brain function and development, particularly in childhood, adolescence, and young adulthood. According to the Harvard Center on the Developing Child, brain structure is formed over time, and this process is sustained and powered by many nutrients. And vitamins and nutrients like vitamin K or vitamin B12, omega-3s, iron, they all are supporters of many vital areas of brain cells. Vitamin B12 itself supports neurotransmissions, and it's important for cognitive brain function and mood. And omega-3s aid in focus, memory, and emotional control. During neurological development, poor nutrition can result in heightened risks of anxiety or depression, lessen your attention span, slower your cognitive processing. And from an article from the Frontiers in Behavioral Sciences in 2017 states inattention, conduct problems, aggression, and reduced IQs have been all documented in adolescents with histories of malnutrition present during these critical periods of brain development. Eating disorder culture refers to online communities on social media or social media content itself that promote or normalize and or glamorize eating disordered or disordered eating. These communities use hashtags such as #MeAnna, #Mia, or #Thinspo, and all showcase extreme dieting, body checking, excessive exercise routines, or even binging, or even mukbangs that you see all throughout social media now. And all of these try to portray as inspirational or even normal, or even just as fun content to watch. A study from the International Journal of Eating Disorders in 2023 shows that over 40% of teens on TikTok report content of encouraging start restrictive eating within the first hour of scrolling. However, there are some communities and other content on these apps that do promote recovery and provide support. Often enough, the algorithm in these platforms pushes the opposite content on its viewers. This makes it difficult for young adult and teen viewers to avoid the harmful messages. And these types of content can influence real-life behaviors, including eating disorders, with many young viewers developing and developing disordered eating habits, or even body image issues linking back to these types of groups on social media or the content itself. Dr. Sarah Dormoff states that the frequent exposure to these messages and content can fuel distorted beliefs about food, weight, and self-worth. Disordered eating such as starvation, purging, binging, or even calorie restriction lead to nutrient deficiencies that can and will diminish brain function and development. For instance, a lack of iron or omega-3s can reduce your memory, affect your mood, and decrease your concentration. Not to mention what it can physically do to your body, including causing anemia, fatigue, weakness, inflammation, weaker bones, etc., and the list goes on. Adolescence is a major phase in brain and emotional development. Because of this malnutrition can cause permanent damage during this time. And an article from NEDA, which is the National Eating Disorders Association, emphasizes that teens and young adults with anorexia, bulimia, and other eating disorders show major signs of cognitive decline and unstable emotions linking to the nutrient deficiencies. Online content enhances these issues by subconsciously or blatantly pressuring adolescents into certain habits that will not only damage their physical health, but also their mental well-being. This being able to think clearly, manage their emotions, and or the ability to take in information. And social media and its content isn't only changing how young teens and young adults see themselves, but is also deeply impacting how their brain functions and develop. Overall, we now know how essential nutrients and vitamins are a foundation for healthy brain development, particularly in young adults, teens, and adolescents. And many young people at this time are truly being influenced and pressured by online content and on the daily platforms that they scroll through that promote this type of behavior. The disordered habits and eating patterns, which do lead scientifically to nutrient deficiencies, that can and will have severe consequences to emotion, cognitive, and physical development. It's very easy to say that you can just scroll away or just see these types of content as just any trend, but it truly isn't a trend. When it starts to affect brain development and mental health, it is so much more dangerous than people realize. What we eat affects how we learn, think, and feel, and that's just the basics of it. And in the end, the truth is a healthy and well-functioning brain isn't grown from restrictions on food or what we see online. It's grown from proper nutrition. Thank you.